There are times in life when the next step requires you to let go of things that were once important to you, not out of spite, but because you feel they are holding you back. They make you feel small. If you want to fly, you have to let go of what's pulling you down. Sometimes it's a person, sometimes it's a thought, and sometimes it's you yourself, clinging to something that's long gone. Not everyone who hurt you deserves your resentment, but not everyone you forgive deserves a place in your life either. Forgiveness doesn't mean going back. It means choosing peace. My peace. You can't change the past, but you can stop carrying it around. Take the lesson with you, not the burden. And when you turn around one last time, quietly say, "Thank you for all that you were," and then move on to where your future begins. Some goodbyes are quiet, and yet they carry more truth than all the words before. If someone doesn't show you that you're important to them, believe them. Silence is often more honest than words. Trust that what belongs to you will stay, and what goes creates space for something that's truly meant for you. There's a place inside you where you are whole, regardless of who praises, criticizes, or ignores you. This place is called self-confidence. It doesn't arise from applause, but from realization, from the quiet knowledge that you are enough, even if no one says it. You don't have to be loud to be strong. Strength often shows itself where no one is looking, in the way you keep getting back up, even though no one noticed your fall. In the decision to keep going, even when doubts whisper that you're not ready. And when these doubts come, which they will, remember, it's not your job to be perfect. It's your job to be real and brave. Brave enough to believe in yourself, even when others don't. It takes trust to take steps towards a goal you don't yet know. But it is precisely this trust that is the beginning of everything. Because whoever waits until they are ready will stand eternally at the beginning. Life doesn't ask for your certainty. It asks for your willingness. Your worth is not measured in likes, grades, or titles. It shows itself in how you talk to yourself when no one is listening, in the gentleness with which you view your mistakes, and in the warmth with which you forgive yourself. Sometimes you will lose your footing on the outside, and that's when you discover the support within yourself. It's in these moments that you realize no one can give you what you deny yourself, and no one can take away from you what is deeply anchored within you. Realize that your path is not comparable to others. You walk your path. You carry your story. And when you realize this, the constant race against other people's expectations ends. Then you begin to live, not for others, but for yourself. Trusting yourself is not a goal you achieve. It's a relationship you nurture. With every thought, every breath, every decision. And the stronger this relationship becomes, the less you need confirmation from the outside. Because you know you are on your way, and that's enough. We often grow up with the idea that strength means not letting anything show. No tears, no doubts, no wounds. But true strength is not shown in hiding, but in allowing, in the ability to stay soft in a hard world. Sometimes a word hits you, a look, a goodbye that wasn't spoken. It hurts, not because you are weak, but because you are sensitive. And that's where the gift lies. Those who feel deeply, live deeply. And those who know pain also know compassion. You are allowed to be sad. You are allowed to fall. You are allowed to lose courage and find it again later. No one is untouchable, and anyone who pretends to be has only learned to hide well. Strength is not the opposite of vulnerability. It grows from it. The world doesn't need more people who shut off their emotions until they can no longer feel themselves. The world needs authenticity. It needs people who, amidst the noise, preserve their truth, even if that truth sometimes burns. Loyalty is not shown in grand gestures, but in the small moments when someone is there for you, even when they are not strong themselves. Someone who defends you when you're not in the room is closer to you than 1,000 beautiful words. And yes, it hurts when someone you care about deeply shows no interest. But don't be hard on yourself. You gave your heart where others only played their part. It's not a weakness to love. It's greatness to feel, even if you get hurt. Learn to hold yourself when others don't. Learn to forgive yourself for opening up where others remained closed. And remember, you were honest. You were there. That alone is already an act of courage. Being vulnerable doesn't mean being fragile. It means being human. And in a world that often confuses hardness with strength, that's perhaps the bravest decision of all. Not every connection is forever. Some people enter your life like chapters in a book. They bring a story, leave traces, and move on when their time is over. It's not your job to hold on to them. It's your job to recognize when a chapter ends. Relationships don't thrive on constant presence, but on authenticity. True friends are the ones you don't have to talk to every day to feel connected to. They stay, even when life changes. They don't set conditions. They remind you of who you are when you forget it yourself. But as valuable as closeness is, distance is just as important. You are not obligated to be available to everyone. Not everyone who knocks on your door has good intentions. Some only come when they need something, and leave when you need something yourself. Learn to distinguish who brings peace and who brings unrest, who respects your boundaries, and who crosses them again and again, disguised as affection. It's not harsh to protect yourself. It's self-respect. You can say no without explaining yourself. You can be silent when the conversation exhausts you, and you can let go when a connection costs you more than it nourishes you. Don't confuse kindness with obligation, and caring with self-sacrifice. Those who truly value you don't demand that you lose yourself to keep them. Responsibility in relationships begins with you. It begins with the question, what is good for me? And with the courage to make decisions that are not always comfortable, but honest. Sometimes a quiet retreat is healthier than a loud stay. Sometimes walking away silently is a form of self-love. And when you let go of what hurt you again and again, you create space for people who don't need you, but see you, who don't want to change you, but understand you. You don't owe anyone your energy, except yourself. Many people wait for the moment when life finally begins. They long for Friday, for vacation, for the next day off. But in all this waiting, They miss the only thing that is real, the present moment. You don't have to be at the finish line to feel joy. Sometimes a ray of sunshine on your skin, a person's smile, a quiet moment at the window is enough. In such moments, true life happens. Unspectacular, but real. Take time for what makes you feel alive, not for what keeps you busy. There's a difference. A walk without a destination can be more healing than a full calendar. A deep breath can bring more order than 100 thoughts. Learn to open your senses again. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Hear the wind in the trees. Smell the aroma of your coffee. Mindfulness is not a technique. It's a coming home to yourself. And when the day is hard, when you wonder where the light has gone, go into nature. It doesn't judge. It doesn't demand anything. It's simply there, like you, when you let yourself be. The best doctors don't wear white coats. They are called sun, water, rest, air, touch, movement, and time. Near them, the body begins to remember what it means to be whole. Mindfulness doesn't mean you're never sad. It means that you stay present even in sadness, that you don't run away but breathe, that you feel without losing yourself. If you learn to start each day with a smile, even if it's just a quiet inner one, life will begin to smile back at you, not because everything is perfect, but because you are willing to look at the imperfect with love. And maybe then you'll discover happiness was never far away. It was always within you. You just had to become still enough to hear it. Sometimes it's not the big things that change us, but the quiet insights that drip very softly into our hearts. A realization at dawn, a conversation that resonates, or simply the moment when we realize, I don't have to hold on to anything that makes me feel small anymore. Gratitude is not a feeling that only appears when everything is going well. It begins where you see the light, in the midst of chaos, where you say, it's not all perfect, but I'm here, I'm breathing, I'm alive, and that alone is enough for today. Sometimes you don't have to add anything, but just let go. Old stories, old expectations, old guilt. You don't have to prove to anyone anymore that you are valuable. You already are. Change often doesn't begin with a plan, but with a decision. Not to go back to the old, but to allow yourself to think anew, to feel anew, to live anew. And when you doubt yourself, which you will, remember, you have already weathered so many storms that were allowed to shape you, but not break you. Strength is not the loud, I can do anything, but the quiet, I'll try again. Trust the path, even if you don't see it completely yet. Sometimes life just needs one decision from you, that you no longer stand against yourself, but walk by your side, patiently, clearly, gently. Maybe you can make a small new beginning today. Not tomorrow, not when everything is right, but right now, with what is there. Take a few quiet minutes today and ask yourself, what can I let go of to be freer inside? Maybe it's an old thought, a grudge, a constant comparison. Whatever it is, feel what it's like when you no longer carry it with you. If you want to live more consciously, calmly, and connected to yourself on your path, then join me here further. Subscribe to the channel if you like, so you won't miss any new inspiration. And remember, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be real. That's enough. And that's enough to change your life. Thank you for being here.